Kendrick Lamar, the king of hip hop and official dog owner of Drizzle Cake, has returned for a very rare interview with Bazaar magazine. With the current princess of R&B, in my humble opinion, SZA, breaking down Kendrick's iconic record "Not Like Us" and the impact it has not only on hip hop culture, but the impact it has on Kendrick Lamar outside of music. And SZA does a great job interviewing her former label mate with forever family ties. To hear a different perspective of Kendrick explaining where he's at currently with his own life after the release of Not Like Us, more importantly, his overall growth that he has had as a person over the years in the music industry, and dealing with accepting more vulnerability in his own music, which is really interesting and shocking to hear. As a huge Kendrick Lamar glazer myself, I find Kendrick Lamar to be very vulnerable to Pimp a Butterfly, Damn, my favorite Kendrick album, and Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where he's big stepping on vulnerability, okay? Just shows the true hip hop artist that Kendrick Lamar really is. Or better yet, put by Bazaar Harper's writer and editor Caitlin Greenidge, where she says that Kendrick is the following: the closest thing this era of hip hop has to a truth teller, the complete opposite of Drizzle Pie. Well, maybe she didn't say Drizzle Pie, but you know. And don't forget J Lo Siento, I mean J. Cole, because Germaine is not one that appropriates Mexicanos, but he does like to apologize, because he's not like us. Speaking of not like us, SZA first asked Kendrick about Not Like Us and what it represents to him, where Kendrick says the following: this man has morals, he has values, he believes in something, he stands on something, he's not pandering, which many have alluded already to him throwing some slight Wendy Williams shade to Drizzle Cake and more specifically Germaine Cole. The first part of the statement I think is definitely aimed towards Drizzle Pie, as 69 Boy stands for nothing with no morals and how the way he moves in hip hop and the culture. Then with the second part of Kendrick's statement, you definitely have Jermaine being called out for all the pandering he's been doing, like Panda Express, just to play face in Kendrick's face like Kendrick won't turn him into a rap song.
Hey, bitch, I'm attractive. Can't fuck with you no more.
For someone who's been respected and looked at as part of the hip hop big three for quite some time, I mean, the amount of pandering and throwing rocks while hiding your hand done by Cole is remarkable and resembles the same traits of a drizzle cake when it comes to the antics, at least, that Jermaine does. Let's not get it twisted like Twista. I mean, Jermaine Cole is a much better rapper, talent wise, writer, I mean, everything compared to Drizzle Cake. But still, the antics that he's been doing clearly show that Jermaine really has an issue with Kendrick. And to be completely honest, I think Kendrick and Drake also Drizzle Cake, yeah, they both should feel a way about Germaine Cole. I think he's one of the best rappers, but that doesn't negate the fact that he's been doing a lot of pop rocking with his hands. Especially when Jermaine came out left field like a motherfucker and disrespected Kendrick's catalog just to back that ass up like Juvie and retract what he was saying to his toxic fan base at Dreamville, asking how many of y'all love Kendrick.
Cash Money Records taking over for the angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness. I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest?
As if that's not the same fan base that's been hating on Kendrick for years, hence Dreamville feeling some type of way. Well, ain't no calling out Dreamville for feeling that way about Kendrick. Clearly see that the biggest pandering is coming from Rick Germain and not Drizzle Marie. Cue the music.
I guess I think we both said a little too much today.
No,
Just put your arms around me and hold me like you
I
used
won't
to.
hold you tight.
Wow. But Jermaine and Drizzle Pop aren't the only rappers that could be mentioned in this interview if you really are analyzing what Kendrick is talking about throughout the entire interview. SZA goes into a section where she's asking Kendrick, when's the first time you've cried? Of course, that's a SZA question, but we love SZA. Kendrick elaborates on the first time he cried, going back to over a decade with Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre and other West Coast legends, including The Game, ironically, who all passed the torch to Kendrick as the new king of the West over a decade ago, which was just the beginning of Kendrick being the king of hip hop. And I say ironic when it comes to Jayceon Taylor, because clearly he can't get enough of Drizzle Cake. It doesn't matter if Drizzle Pie gave Jayceon one of his biggest hits in the 2010 era of his career with 100. Because to keep it 100, Game has a reputation to hold as one of the West Coast pioneers that should be respected way more, placed in a higher regard, but instead is revealed to show signs of jealousy throughout the entire time of passing the throne to his alleged brother from the West. Again, I'm a huge Game fan. I have a lot of his albums, all the way up to Documentary 2.5. Everything before that, I own the albums. And growing up, I was clowned for being Hurricane Game. I had Hurricane Games on my feet. Like, what the? I still love Game. I respect his music. It's just ironic that Kendrick is bringing up this moment, knowing that Game shows aside, Drake giving you 100 is not enough. Drake giving your underage daughter free tickets to his show? Like, what the? My thing is that I still have a lot of respect for Game, so I'm gonna keep it cute. Also, I don't want to get fucked up. I just think that this interview shows a lot more than just the Not Like Us section, where Kendrick is kind of bringing up a lot, not just rappers, but moments, events that involve other rappers that he may have some issues with or may be addressing in that new album, which I hope is still a West Coast album. Comment below on what kind of album you want from Kendrick. It's coming soon, y'all. Hopefully. And lastly, Kendrick also goes into the last time he remembers crying, which was on the recording process of Mother I Sober on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, where Kendrick talks about the pain of his mother having to go through SA from a family member growing up, and her fears of her own son Kendrick going through the same thing as a child with a cousin in the family. You remember the same song that made Drizzle Pie look like a complete dumbass on Heart Part 6? Mother mother
Wait a second. That's that one record where you say you got molested. Fuck me. I just made the whole connection.
What a fucking dumbass. This shows how non-cultured Drizzle Pie is and how he really doesn't understand hip-hop lyrics because till this day, he still has half of his catalog ghostwritten like Patrick Swayze. That's right, Drizzle's Demi Moore. Cue the scene.
Lonely time.
Thank you so much for watching. Comment below on how you felt about this video. Until next time, go be amazing. Have an amazing day.